to give you now is the idea of Islam through a Muslim's eyes. Now, you have seen my story. I gave you some snippets of a lot of what's going to come up. But I'm trying to wrap it all together now so you can have a much better idea. What is the religion of Islam to Muslims? That's what we're going to be covering first. Now, there are plenty of people who are trying to spread Islam in the United States. All right, the effort is called Dawah, D-A-W-A-H, Dawah. And you've got organizations that are dedicated to doing that. They've got ads up in bus systems and in metro systems across the nation. How many of you guys have seen these kinds of ads on billboards and such? A few of you have. So they've got plenty of them up. One of the biggest ones is whyislam.org. And they define Islam as follows. Islam is the culmination of the universal message of God taught by all of his prophets. Muslims believe that a prophet was chosen for every nation at some point in their history, enjoining them to worship God alone and delivering guidance on how to live peacefully with others. Some of the prophets of God include Adam, Noah, Abraham, Ishmael, Isaac, Jacob, Joseph, Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad, peace be upon them all. The prophets all conveyed the consistent divine message of worshiping one God, along with specific societal laws for each nation's circumstances. However, after the prophets delivered the divine guidance to their people, their message was lost, abandoned, or changed over time, with only parts of the original message intact. God then sent another prophet, Muhammad, to rectify their beliefs. So this is how whyislam.org summarizes Islam. This is a modern summary of Islam. You won't see this kind of a summary in the past. You won't see them trying to create these bridges between the various prophets and peace be upon them all kind of things. They don't do that in the past. They don't make the equality there as much as you see. But I'm trying to show you what Islam is like through the eyes of Muslims today. To give you an understanding of how many Muslims there are, you might be kind of slanted in your view because of how many Muslims are in the United States. In 2005, one of the official numbers that we found of Muslims in the United States was 3 million. Currently, estimates range from anywhere from 5 to 12 million. It's not exactly sure how many Muslims there are in the United States, but this is the official number that I found. Worldwide, 1.5 billion. Big difference. About 1% of the United States is Muslim, whereas 1/4 of the world is Muslim. In Christians, we can see these are people who self-identify as Christians. We might have a different definition. In fact, I think we all do. But those who self-identify as Christians, 80% in the United States self-identify as Christian, and 33% around the world. Again, this is 2005, and Muslims around the world are growing at a much faster rate, mainly due to birth rate, than Christians are. So that number will probably flip-flop at some point in the future, probably during our lifetimes. We'll start seeing more Muslims in the world than Christians, unless we do something about it. Understand, though, that Islam is not monolithic. Like I said before, there are many divisions. If you talk about a Muslim, all right, we tend to generalize. In the United States, if you talk about a Christian, you're probably going to be talking about a Protestant. If you talk about a Muslim, you're probably talking about a Sunni Muslim. If you go to certain areas of Sudan, you might be talking about a Sufi. If you go to certain areas of Iran, you'll be talking about a Shia. Lebanon, same thing. You know, if you go to various areas, you'll be talking about a different thing. But generally speaking, in the United States, if someone says a Muslim, they're talking about a Sunni Muslim because they are the vast majority of Muslims. By the way, a lot of people don't even consider others to be Muslims. Many Sunnis don't consider certain Sufis to be Muslim. Virtually no Sunnis consider Ahmadis to be Muslim, even though they believe in all the same tenets and articles of faith, as we're about to see. Pretty much no one considers the Nation of Islam Muslim except for the Nation of Islam. So there's a lot of division here. One of the main things when you talk to a Muslim, and again, every time I say a Muslim from here on out, I'm going to be generalizing, and don't take that too literally. When you talk to a Muslim, you're going to see that more important to them than virtually anything else when describing their faith is the 5 pillars of Islam. These are the 5 duties that Muslims perform in order to maintain a right relationship before God. Again, they perform duties in order for them to please God and be in a good relationship with Him. Allah will love those who does these things, and Allah does not love those who do not do these things. You'll find that throughout the Quran, Allah's love is not unconditional. He loves those who do these things. The Shahada is first and foremost the pillar of Islam. Remember that I said my father recited the Shahada in my ear. That's the proclamation to faith. This is the rallying call to Muslims. You see it in calligraphy. You see it on the flag. The words are La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. There is no God but Allah. And Muhammad is his messenger. The Salat are the 5 daily prayers for Muslims. So when you see Muslims praying, these are prescribed prayers that they have memorized. There are portions of the Salat that are variable, and those are portions where you recite the Quran, which is also memorized. So this is not an improvisational prayer. There is nothing personal about these prayers aside from what they might happen to feel from what they have memorized already. It's an extremely important part of Islamic life. It really sets the calendar for Muslims. Wake up in the morning, you say your Salat. Throughout the day, you take your breaks when you're going to pray your Salat. You go home to pray the evening Salat. You go to sleep after the Isha Salat. That's how important the Salat is. The third pillar of Islam, bless you, is the Zakat. These are the Muslim version of tithing. About 2.5% of your total income is offered as mandatory alms. This stuff can actually be used for a variety of purposes. It can be used to restore mosques. It can be used to help travelers. It can be used to give to orphans and widows. The Quran gives various ways you can use the zakat. But it's a whole industry, by the way, nowadays. You've got websites telling people how much zakat to give based on various rules through the Sharia, which we'll be talking about shortly. So very, very deep and complex here.